Hello Australia, right around the country on Foxtel's Aurora. This is The Scene. It's all about great Australian and West Australian music, and we could not do it without our mates at Atomic Beer and Sound Centre Morley. My name is Blake Williams. Hello, welcome to the show. If you're watching us on YouTube, hit that subscribe button as well. You'll never miss an episode of The Scene. And like we all like to do, you can binge every single past season. As we get into it tonight, a guy who grew up in Bunbury, moved up to Perth, he studied at Whopper, and tonight performing for the very first time with his band, the brand new single, You Are. Give it up in the studio, Mr. Mitchell Martin. This is The Scene.
Lay on the green grass surrounded by leaves. We look up at the sunlight breaking through the trees. As I turn to look at you, I just can't believe oh, how beautiful you are lying next to me. The sunlight reflects off your skin. Lay your head on my chest as I pull you in. The birds sing in the trees, their voices carried by the wind. And I can't believe just how lucky I am. How beautiful you are. The way you look and the beauty inside your heart. And I hope that one day I'll make you start to say that I love you just the way you are. The sun starts to set as we walk hand in hand. It's such a warm evening as the shadows spread over the land. And as the stars come out, they seem to shine where you stand. And I'm so lucky to be your man. How beautiful you are. The way you look at the beauty inside your heart. I hope that one day I'll make you start to see that I love you just the way you are. How beautiful you are. The way you look at the beauty inside your heart. I hope that one day I'll make you start to see that I love you just the way you are. For I love you just the way that you are. For I love you just the way that you are. This is the scene.
Welcome back to The Scene, right around the country on Foxtel's Aurora and on demand on YouTube. Mitchell Martin on the stage just before. How good did that sound, everybody? It was great, right? Absolutely. Mate, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
There's a lot kind of going on at the moment. There's a brand new EP. There's
Yes.
a launch happening as well. Very exciting. We'll talk all about that.
Yep.
Let's go back quite a way, though. So, Bunbury boy, right?
Yes.
What is the Bunbury music scene like?
There isn't, there isn't much of one. So basically, there's a lot of like the cover gigs. So like I played at a whole bunch of breweries, wineries, cafes, all that sort of thing. I did some covers, like a lot of cover stuff, playing different little bands and solo. And yeah, I did get the occasional one, like the Prince of Wales. I'd support some of the Perth bands that came down, and occasional little festivals down there. But yeah, the scene is definitely more up here.
Yeah, sure. I can absolutely understand the want and need to come up and to study up here and things like that.
Yep.
But you started songwriting when you were in Bunbury?
Yeah, absolutely.
How old were you when you did that?
16 was my first song.
Yeah.
And it was a little love song.
Have you still got the recording of that?
Yeah, it actually ended up on the first album.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Because most people go, oh, the first songs I wrote, no one will ever hear them.
Yeah, it's not the greatest, but,
but
it was
it's on the
sentimental.
record. Yeah, yeah.
It was a cheesy little love song.
That's all right. That's what they all are at the start. What did you write about when you were 16?
Love.
It's so strange because you still write about that. Seeing a definite trend.
Yeah, you know, like I don't have a super exciting life, so there's only so many things to write about.
But you got toast. You can write about breakfast. I mean, there's a lot in the pot.
But yeah, you know, love, like relationships, friendships going wrong. Mm-hmm. You know, love going wrong.
But it's all stuff that's
trying
relatable.
to come up with just different stuff, you know, as well. Like
You're writing about the human condition.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's put it that way, right? Yeah. But what about songwriters you were really into? Who would they be?
Yeah, so 2011, I was year 9, and I was really just a guitarist at the time. And then Ed Sheeran came out, and I was like, that's what I want to do. Like,
yeah, right.
So I started singing. I was just like playing his songs, and yeah, it was just exactly what I liked. I just loved his music. And
what was it about it that you loved?
I don't know. He brought out Lego House. He had Ron from Harry Potter in the film clip. Yeah. Maybe that was it. Yeah, it was just so genuine. You know, I think that was the biggest thing. Like, it was just so genuine, and he wrote about really interesting stuff. And
I think he has a really amazing way of taking a subject and then kind of changing the perspective of the way that you would normally write about it.
Yeah, exactly. Like a love song, but about Lego.
That's that kind of stuff. And I think as well, and you know, you're similar in that way, and possibly because you were really into him. You know, he would go out and do like 300 gigs a year and just really hone his craft. Really upskill. And you're very similar in that way because you really, this is what you do. This is what you want to do, right?
Absolutely.
Spend a lot of time practicing.
Yeah, I was super inspired. I did. I went out and I just gigged as much as possible. I did the big looping thing, which got bigger and bigger and bigger, and I was like, no, I might just get a band, because like, I was carting a lot of gear. It was like 4 trips to the car. And
might as well get them to cart that.
Yeah, when you don't have Ed Sheeran's team, it's like, it's a lot of gear, to carry on into stage. So yeah.
And so you did the looping thing for a while.
Yeah.
And was it because of the Ed Sheeran thing, or you just really enjoyed putting that creatively together?
Absolutely, it was definitely inspired by him. I'd never heard of a loop pedal until I saw him doing You Need Me, I Don't Need You in the live room. And I was like, wow. I was like, at first I was like, oh, he's playing a backing track. But then when I found out he was doing it himself, I'm like, whoa, that's insane. Like, imagine like being able to do that yourself. And then, I got obsessed with it. And I just went through and I was like, all right, I'm just going to learn how to do this. And I sucked. And it took a really long time to get good at it. And I sort of left it for a while even. I was like, okay, this isn't for me. My timing was just all over the place. And I ended up getting back into it when I was about 17. I was like, oh, I can actually get decent timing now because I've just been playing guitar this whole time and just practicing. And it slowly grew probably too big.
Well, looping just seems really overwhelming to me. Like there's so much going on. You're in control of all of it. If you screw something up, that's it. It's all over. Just wipe the slate and start again.
And it definitely got me into sound and like just understanding why am I creating all this feedback? You know what I mean? And how to get around it.
In fact, there's a great video on your YouTube, and people can jump on YouTube and check this out, but it's you kind of going back and watching yourself when you were 15 or something? And going, wow, actually that's better than I thought. Actually, that's not as good as what I thought I was. I haven't really seen someone do that of their own performance. I like that.
That was a fun day. And I'm probably going to go back again in the future and look back at myself at 21 thinking I was awesome. But I think, wow, I was really bad then as well.
No, it's a good professional development way to look at it. So moved up to Perth, went to WAPA to study, Western Australian Academy of Performing Arts.
Yes.
How did you find that whole experience?
It was amazing. It was busy.
Yeah.
It was so full on. So much more full on than what I expected and what I was told. And those 2 years were crazy, and I got so much better. I played in bands heaps. I got a lot better at guitar, and just as a musician as a whole. But I felt pretty burnt out, especially trying to do gigs as well as doing Whopper 5 days a week, because it was more than you'd ever expect. I was there like 30 hours a week. It was crazy, and I was there all day, and I would get home, and then I'd be doing music, and then I'd be gigging on the weekend. It was just like a lot.
Yeah, it's full on. But it's that kind of really important, almost pressure cooker situation where you learn obviously how to do your job and hone your craft, but you also network and find people. So is that where you met a lot of your band from?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I met all my band through Whopper, and then through them knowing other people. And there's just so many amazing musicians there. Everyone sort of goes there to get better. And it's just a great way to network for sure. That was definitely one of the best things about it, is just meeting so many other like-minded people that just love music and just want to do something with it as well.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
As I said, there's great players. It's a great institution. And then moving out of study and then going to find gigs in an original landscape in Perth. How did you approach that? Because it can be overwhelming to go, okay, I've got some songs, I've got an EP. What do I do? Where do I go?
Yeah. So firstly, I just didn't know what I was doing. So I came to Perth 2017 and I released an album. And I didn't release any singles off the album prior. I didn't have any promo really planned other than like this little WA tour. So I toured this album and I was like, wow, there's the album.
Now it's done.
And it was a lot of money and a lot of work, and I didn't know you had to promo stuff. Like, I didn't really get it. I did a show at the Ellington though, which was really cool for it. And yeah, the little WA tour, it was cool, but it was a huge learning experience. And since then it's like lots of singles, promote each one, heaps, do a big show for it. And I really learned that from coming up to Perth and actually like being in the scene and like understanding like, wow, like, you should actually like do like a launch per song. Yeah. And not just throw out 12 songs at once, which, I just, I didn't really think about it too much. I was like, this will be...
These are all things that everyone learns every time there's a new release and every time you're doing something different. And there is, of course, the song you played just before is the new single, right?
Yeah.
That was the very first time you really performed that.
Yeah, that was the premiere.
You did a great job.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank God.
Didn't forget any lyrics, I don't think.
We don't know anyway.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about the launch in a moment as well. But there's a few big things. As I mentioned, you've done a lot in the last few years, whilst managing uni and all of that sort of stuff. One of the big gigs, Optus Stadium.
Yes.
50,000 people.
Yeah.
It's a lot of thousands of people.
Yeah.
What was that gig for?
That was for the Fremantle Dockers and Hit 92.9. They were doing the hits versus old school thing. So I did a hit and I did Ed Sheeran's Shape of You with my full looping setup.
Yep.
And it
you went the whole looping
stressful.
setup.
So a stadium.
Why do you do that to yourself?
No one understands what a stadium sounds like when you're in this tiny little corner.
Yeah.
It was like just a huge toilet. It was just echo, and like literally I would play a chord, and then I would hear 5 different bounces of this chord.
That's so stressful.
So thank goodness for in-ears. And I even had him like turn on the microphone like after I'd done the looping, because even the microphone, I was picking up just all this noise, and also just the crowd's loud, which is awesome. But like it was noisy.
So what are you thinking? Like a few moments before that, you've got everybody there, you've got all your looping set up.
Yeah.
Are you thinking, okay, just do your job and this will all be fine, or are you like, this is going to be great? What's going through your mind?
I had rehearsed so much. So looping is a volatile little thing. And one mistake, and it's on loop, you know what I mean?
I can absolutely see why the band are now employed, and it's like, goodbye looping, we've got real loopers now.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's the way to do it.
It was a high pressure situation, but I did it, and it was better than I was expecting. When I listened back to the recording, I was like, wow, I was in time, which was great. And
let's just start with that.
Yeah, so...
That was great.
And
some of the big artists that Mitch has supported as well, people like Killing Heidi and Shepherd and Katie Steele over the years. Did you ever get to meet any of those people, or you kind of... You did?
Yeah, so I got to meet Shepherd really well, which was awesome.
They're a great supportive band, lovely
they're so
people.
Good, Australian, and got to have a good chat with them. I actually talked to the main guy about vocal health and stuff, and he gave me some vocal zone. Which is interesting. And
did you like them?
Yeah, that was so nice.
I heard that John Farnham swears by them.
Yeah.
So everyone in Perth buys them.
Oh yeah, the vocal zone.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought you meant Shepherd.
Oh, no.
But the vocal zone.
Shepherd as well.
The vocal zone was also really nice. But yes, and Shepherd were great because a lot of the time the main acts you don't see them. They hide in the green room, and it's a little bit awkward. But yeah, they were just happy to have a chat.
What do you learn
Super
from, you know,
supportive.
watching a band like Shepherd? You know, they're really big on the radio circuit, writing really catchy pop songs, kind of similar vein to what you're doing.
Yeah.
Do you watch them and go, oh, that's cool, I haven't tried that, or I like their outlook on a certain thing?
Yeah.
Can you take something away from that experience?
Their live setup was wicked. So they had like the huge rack, and the drummer had a baffle, and like their actual, just the way they did it all was like really cool. Because I find pop music so interesting because there's so much going on. And trying to pull that off with a band is tricky because there's so much production involved.
Absolutely.
And just seeing how they did it was just amazing. Like their full like in-ear rig, and yeah,
And
that was super inspiring.
It's really it's interesting because it's a lot of complicated things to make something sound really quite simple.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of work going into making that happen.
Absolutely.
Now, the new stuff, very excited. You're going to be up on stage in a few minutes' time with another track. But let's talk about the launch. So when is it happening?
Cool. So Saturday, October 30th. If you're in Perth or Western Australia, please put it in your calendar. Come along. It's going to be at Jackrabbit Slims. And it's a double EP launch. So I'm launching my EP, and I'm also launching, and also another Perth band called Brother Bear is launching theirs on the same night. So we're doing like a co-headline thing, Jackrabbit Slims, 8 to 11 p.m. Tickets will be very reasonably priced, and we'd love to see you there, you know? So it's going to be good.
So it's a bargain is what you're telling us.
Yeah,
where do we find info on that?
So it's not announced just yet, but the ticket link will be in my Instagram bio and on Oztix.
Great.
Also on Jackrabbit Slims' website, you'll be able to find it there. And Brother Bear and I will be pumping the promo for it, so you'll see it all over our social media.
And so once this is launched and the launch has happened, what's the plan after that?
So the actual EP will be released on the 8th of October, which is a Friday, and so like 2 weeks beforehand. And then we'll be promoting it a whole bunch up to that, launching it at Jackrabbit Slims, and then that's sort of where
a break.
A little break after that, and then possibly some sort of tour next year.
Great. Well, that's the thing. We're all up in the air, right? With COVID.
We'll see how it all sort of pans out. But
absolutely. Well,
something for sure.
The new EP is out on the 8th of October. If we want to find it, what's your social media handle?
So you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, all that. It's at Mitchell Martin Music. And you can find me on Spotify. That's sort of my biggest platform. So if you go on Spotify, you'll be able to find me on
Absolutely.
there.
Up to nearly 700,000 streams on some of these songs.
I'm about to play.
Songs that we're about to play. We're going to take a very short break here on Foxtel, right around the country on Aurora and on YouTube. Please give it up in the studio for Mitchell Martin, everybody. Amazing stuff. We are back in just a moment with live music from the band right here on the scene.
When I first met you, I did not think it would ever lead to this. No, I did not think I'd have ever got the chance to witness this. But here we are, and you just closed the door to your room. And now we're alone. Your boots, tall jeans, long hair, red lips, on the skin here. I can't stop myself from staring, sitting so still. Oh, wait, you look at me with that smile in those eyes, and next thing I know, you start to dim my lights. I don't think you know how good you look right now, caught me off guard. As you walk towards me, I can feel my heart beat so hard. You start to get so close, now I can smell your perfume. And now we're alone. Blood bruise, tired jeans, blonde hair, red lips, rose and skin. Yeah, I can't stop myself from staring, sitting so still. Oh, wait, you look at me with that smile in those eyes, and next thing I know, you start to dim the lights. Yeah. from staring, saying it's a thing. The way you look at me with that smile and those eyes. Next thing I know, you start to dim the light. Next thing I know, you start to dim the light. Yeah. Next thing I know, you start to dim the light. Yeah.
Mitchell Martin and band, everybody. Nice work, everyone. Well done, man. Awesome job, awesome job. Mitchell Martin and band right here. This is The Scene. We'll catch you next week with the acoustic styling sensibilities of Mr. Michael Day. Check us out online. We'll catch you next week. Good night, everybody.
Touching my hair and lips all twisted here. I saw myself from staring, saying it's a thing. The way you look at me with that smile and those eyes. Next thing I know, you start to dim the light. Next thing I know, you start to dim the light.